The Sci-Fi Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sci-Fi Film Podcast. I am, therefore I am. No, I think therefore I am. I'm pink, therefore I'm spam. I'm zinc, therefore I'm a pram. I'm Andy Walker. Thank you and welcome to the whatever this is. And he's not Andy Walker, he's Scott Walker. Hello, Scott.
Hello. Why does it still sound like you get confused when you try to figure out who I am?
No, it's not that I get confused with who you are. I just get confused with who I am.
Okay, fair enough. Hello, by the way. Sorry.
Hello. How the devil are you?
Yes, not bad.
Oh, makes a nice change.
Yes. Yeah, it does actually. It's a very bizarre change. Yes, no, I'm reasonably okay.
Good.
Enjoying things.
Enjoying things. Right. So this week we are here to review 3 short science fiction films of a type. And these are, as usual, all films that are on YouTube.
Yeah.
All YouTube. Right. It sounds like it's some kind of like you're kind of trying to say something rude to somebody without actually swearing. Oh, YouTube.
Yeah, it's almost like like the words that kids come up with so they can get away with trying to say something without actually getting told off. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, right. So the first film is called Jeff Drives You. It's on Dust and it's dated 2021, but as we know, sometimes that's not correct. So we just go over that. It's directed and edited by Aidan Grzoniak. What a great name. And it was written and produced by Addison Hyman. The cast is Addison Hyman, Tanner Rittenhouse, Hayley Hepworth and Paige Clone. I love the name Paige Clone, it's great. VFX by Zach Moore and Marty Kane. There you go. The synopsis says, a lonely gay man falls in love with an artificially intelligent car over the course of a road trip. And that basically is what the film is about, after all. But it's a little bit more detailed than that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
In as much as the car kind of seduces him, and then he has sex with it.
Yeah.
Which is, and then the car tries to take him away so that they can be together forever.
Yeah. I would say for the making of this podcast, I seriously thought after all the videos that we watched, I'd pretty much seen everything, or at least very, very close to it. And then we watched this.
Yes.
I've realised that my whole presumption on what I've seen of films is just tip of the iceberg by the sounds of it.
It is different. It is a yeah. It's a different film. It's a
definitely a different film.
It's an interesting film. I mean, let's go through what we normally go through. The cinematography is good. The acting is good. It's quite funny. in some ways, with the car's attitude and the flirting with him and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it gets a bit weird and very unsettling.
Yeah, it's the thing is, I sat there and I did the whole thing the same. Sat there and watched it and got drawn into it. It's like filming amazing locations. Obviously, like you get to see out the window when they're driving. The CGI isn't it good? It's amazing editing in it.
Absolutely.
And then I sat there and obviously the whole they were talking away, and I thought, oh, this is be quite a sort of a almost sort of sad story. I think the way it was going.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then when the car or the AI tries to calm him down, I thought, oh, that's quite, it's showing it's intelligent. And then just it twists and he turns around and says, the car asks him to screw him, basically. And it just,
Yes.
literally all I wrote down is just went, what the hell? It changed so quickly though.
It does change a bit. As I say, it goes from being quite funny and sort of like a bit, as you say, a bit sad and a bit kind of odd to being decidedly weird and a little bit unsettling. And as you say, I mean, basically the car seduces him and gets him to have sex with it.
Yeah.
Which is,
What done me, and I know this is going to sound very weird about this film, that's not the weirdest twist of this film.
no.
The fact that there's another 2 twists afterwards.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Almost seems to make it almost sensible compared to the way that it went after that.
It's yeah. I mean, the car tries to sort of like to abduct him, basically.
Yeah, steal him away.
Yes, and then I get the feeling that he tries because he doesn't want to. The car almost tries to kill him. And then we go to sort of like the 2 people working in the lab who are developing the car.
Yeah, and they're talking about the fact this is like the 3rd or 4th or maybe 5th time it's happened.
Yeah, and it's been
not as bad as the others.
Yes,
and it's just like, what?
I mean, it's a very clever and interesting idea because there is this whole thing about, driverless cars that are driven by AIs with personalities are going to be something that some people are going to have a problem with.
Yeah.
In lots of ways. I doubt very much if this kind of thing will happen. I could be wrong.
I seriously hope you're wrong.
I mean, there are people who who fixate on inanimate objects in a sexual way anyway. So if it has a personality, if it has a personality that can then seduce you as well, and make you feel wanted and loved, then I don't know. It's a very bizarre idea.
I will say, because obviously this is a very, very good film with a lot of the way of stuff. I have got one nitpick in it, and this is my only one, and it's the only one I have with being it as good as it is there is one little bit right at the beginning where it ruined the whole illusion for me, the fact that it is a self-driven car. Because as it pulls off the driver, you can actually see the driver who's sitting right back in the seat, turning the steering wheel. And I know that's just me being nitpicky. You can only see his hand for a slight second, but the whole way through the film after that, I was sitting there going, "Can you see him in the reflection? Can you?" And I then realised that it was bugging me. But other than that, I did like this film. Yeah,
it's a very well made, very good film.
Yeah, very well made film. Very well done on a lot of the stuff. Sam, it's the constant twists and turns that are in it that keep you guessing the whole way through.
Absolutely, and it's definitely. I was by the time we got to the end, I was really kind of like, "Wow, that's a hell of a film."
Yeah, I was just saying. That's like I said before on some of these. I write down. Obviously, we both write down notes. They're obviously like we said, great camera work, great light. But it's just I've actually gone through the page that I was writing over the word "what." I just don't. I put loads of exclamation marks after it. it's a very odd idea behind the film, the way that it's been done. Like
Yeah.
the whole guy and car things has been done quite a few times, but then the twist on that idea is a very, very unique one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very good. I really like it. So I'm not sure if saying I really like it is correct.
Yeah,
It's a good, really good film that I think is really worth watching. It's not sort of film that you necessarily want to say you like, because it is a little bit disturbing and a little bit.
yeah. I suppose it's one of them that, for me, is one of the films that I'm glad I've watched, because it is an experience to watch, and it is a very good film.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I know we're obviously doing this, and there's people that do this. I'm not 100% sure. I'm quite happy telling people I have them, because it is just. I don't know, it's just such a bizarre film, man. I know I keep saying it, but I don't physically know the words to be able to describe this properly.
Yeah. No, I do get that. I do.
I don't mean it in a bad way. It's so hard to describe. You have to watch the film to understand why I'm saying this, because of the fact that it's just, I don't know how to put it into words. It's that type of film.
Yes. No, I could see that. Yes. Okay, so that's the first one. Jeff drives you. The second film is called Untitled Earth Sim 64. It's another 2021 film, written, directed, produced, director of photography, VFX and sound by Jonathan Wilhelmsen. So he basically did almost everything. The cast is Karen Ulrich White, Alexandra Frick, and James Fraser, although it's only his voice. The synopsis for this says, a woman is faced with an existential crisis after learning that the universe is an untitled simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this film.
I do.
It's a bit odd. It's funny. It's got great effects. It looks good. Well acted. Great use of the sort of glitching effects and that kind of thing, which is really good. And then, I mean, the voiceover thing comes on and tells her that it's a simulation when it's not actually meant to tell her that, and she then doesn't understand what the hell's going on.
I think it's just a great. I agree with you. I know, like, we agree quite a lot on this, but I totally agree with you. I love this idea. I love this film. It's like the whole simulation thing I've said before, has been done before, but this is just amazing.
It is.
And the fact that it genuinely, like, a lot of the things we've watched that are slightly comedy, I've chuckled at. This genuinely made me laugh, and like proper laugh out loud. And I was like, I had to go back and watch it because I was laughing so much at bits of it, I missed certain bit. But it's just so well done.
It is. It's really well done. It's really well written. It's as you say, it's really funny in places. There are bits that actually you can't help but laughing at.
The bit that made me laugh is the fact that I know, obviously, it's meant to be the way that it's done is meant to be the fact that no one would believe her anyway, because it's the whole simulation. No one knows. But the look on the friend's face when she's trying to explain it, and then just turns around and says, "So what do you think?" And she's like, it's just so, because it's just like, that is exactly what your response would be. You wouldn't just sit there and go and carry on the conversation. You would just sit there and look at them and go, bit of a lunatic, really, aren't you? And it's just, but I just think it's so well done with it. And the fact that, like you said, the voiceover bits in it were hilarious.
Yeah, they were. And it kind of came out of nowhere, because I was thinking, I'm not quite sure what this is going to be about, or how this is going to work, what's going to happen. And then, you see the glitching, you start going, oh, it's a bit Matrixy. And then the voiceover comes in, you kind of think, oh, no, hang on, it's not.
What I loved about it is the fact that it was sort of, the sorry, the bits where he was trying to make, or part of the bit where he was trying to make her not believe that it was a simulation. And I'm like, he's just sitting there, just like, oh, they're in that sort of panic mode. Like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I sat there. And I loved all the graphic bits. Like you said, the graphics with the glitching, and especially when she was walking through the park with the leaf. I think that was very well done because
Yes.
it wasn't off to the side; it was over her face, and to have that, and I think was very well done. But I just saying, I love this film, and it's another one though that the length of it doesn't feel right for the film. I thought this was like going on for a lot longer because of the detail and the bits in it, but it's only
Yeah.
like 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah,
And
it seems longer than that, but it's
yeah,
in a good way. It feels like you watched a good film. It's yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it's a nice, funny and odd film, but it's good fun to watch. Yeah, really good. So on to the third one. The third film is called Hybrids. Again, it's on Dust. The date on it on there is 2018. It's a film by Patrick Kalin. Again, the only problem with Dust is that sometimes they don't give you a lot of details about the actual film on the drop-down bit, and you can't see them on the screen because whenever it gets to the end of the film, the screen, the actual film sort of shrinks down to half its size, and it goes at 3 times the speed. So you trying to get to see what's on the credits is almost impossible. But the synopsis says, after the death of her daughter, ex-Special Forces soldier seeks revenge on the aliens that committed brutal murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
I don't know. I part of me liked it. There were parts of it that I liked. The fight scene in it, the look of the aliens in it. I liked. I like the way that he kept sort of doing the sort of flashbacks to what had gone on, to why she was so angry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's where I've seen too many films that are like this, where if you're going to go and hunt aliens, you don't do it alone for a start.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you're in a squad or whatever. But it just, I don't know. I think it was very well done, and it just confused me a little bit with the way things were done. I think with it, but I did like the graphics in it. I liked saying the look of the aliens. I liked the fight scene, and the fact that she has a fight with one of them. And it's obviously from computer graphic, but it has a fight with one of them, and the hologram bit at the end. But I just don't know. I think the problem is that there's been so many films like this that it's just sort of other film.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looked good. I mean, as you say, that the effects were excellent. The CGI or whatever it is, with the fight scene was brilliant. The use of the flashbacks was definitely really well done. It wasn't overdone, but it was done really well. I really liked the use of the sound effects when you couldn't see the aliens, but you could hear them.
Yeah.
And you could hear what they're moving in amongst stuff. That was really well done. I really liked it. I get what you're saying about having seen this done so many times before, but I don't know. There was something about it that I just kind of like came away thinking I really liked that film. There wasn't there's nothing I could kind of put my finger on and say it was that made me kind of like it.
Yeah.
More than any other of these type of films, but I don't know. I just thought it was a really, really well made, really good film.
Yeah, I think it's a very well made film. I think it's there are parts of it that are good. I think for me, it's just I've seen too many films with the same sort of idea and the same sort of things going on, really.
Yeah.
And it's a good film, and I like parts of it. I think it's one of them films that's been done.
Yeah.
way too much, and it's not sort of a unique idea or way of doing it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I do get that. Yeah. No, fair enough. Okay, so there you go. There's your 3 films. Jeff drives you, Untitled Earth Sim 64 and Hybrid. So go and check them out yourselves and that kind of thing, and let us know. Maybe let us know what you think. Maybe.
I would say for anyone that's new to listening, and or even anyone that is actually listening, that it is actually it's weird this week because it's the first time that in a while that me and you haven't agreed on every single one.
No. Yeah.
And it's I don't know if that's. I suppose it is a good thing because it means you get different ideas, but it feels weird.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. No. Yeah. But there you go. So that's kind of us for the shorts.
Yeah.
We have our Christmas special edition coming up, which we will be reviewing the classic. See, I don't know. It's supposedly a classic. I'm still trying to work out whether it's actually a kids' film or if it's just awful. But it's or both. I don't know. But we're going to be doing the classic film from 1950 something or the other.
Is it just classed as a classic because of how old it is, or because
Probably, it's probably because it's how old it is. And the thing about it is that if you look through lists of films, right?
Yeah.
You will find dozens upon dozens of films that are horror films that are set at Christmas. You'll find dozens of them. I have managed to find 2 science fiction films that are set at Christmas. And
okay, I might have to do some research now.
Yeah, this one was 1964. It's Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. And it is, what it is and all that. So yes, we're going to be doing that, and we're also going to be doing the 2017 horror film Mother Krampus.
I don't know which one I'm looking forward to watching more.
Are you actually looking forward to either of them? Really?
I don't know. Part of me's looking forward to Mother Krampus just to see what it's like, because I want to see if it's 2 things I want to see in it. If it's really awful,
yeah,
how on earth they got away with making a second?
Yeah.
And because I've spoken to a few people that have actually watched this, and I would say half, but it's only actually been about 4 people that have seen it. So have actually said that they really liked it, but can't tell me why.
Fair enough.
And I don't know if that's because they don't know why, or because they can't tell me because they've been sworn to secrecy. They won't tell me, and it's bugging me. So I'm sort of looking forward to it, so I can just either turn around and say to them, "What is wrong with you?" or turn around and go, "Oh, I agree." But it's just I went to I'm watching this film on the podcast, and they're like, "Oh, okay." One of my mates went, "Oh, I've seen that. It's a really good film." I went, "No, why?" He went, "I can't tell you." I was like,
"Okay,
why?" He was like, and then it sort of made it look like he was off doing something else. I was like, "You can't change the subject. I want to know."
Right. Well, you see, you have a choice. You either go through this one of 2 ways. You either watch Mother Krampus, right, and get that sort of like, because that's a possibility. It's going to be a film that you might like, and then watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, and kind of whatever that brings you, or you watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians first, in the knowledge that after that you're going to watch a film that you might like.
See, this doesn't hold it very good. But a week before we've watched the films, you're already writing off the sci-fi one.
I'm not writing it off. I'm just preparing you for the fact that ultimately it's a 1960s B movie really made for children. Okay.
Okay.
It effectively is a bit kind of Flash Gordonish in some ways,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
made for children. So, and by Flash Gordonish, I mean like the original black and white the black and white series, not the later film.
No, I thought you meant just. I actually thought you meant it like it's a bit of Flash Gordonish. There's this guy shouting randomly in the background.
No, well, no, then
My blessing turns up.
In some parts there will be, but so yeah, we got that coming up, and then after that, the week after that, as a final thing, we're going to do a recommendation thing. We're going to go some of the films, some of the short films that we've seen that we liked,
Yes.
and some features that we've looked at, and all the ones that we've just watched, that we've seen over the year that we've liked, that we haven't actually reviewed, and things like that. And then that'll be us until next year, when we will be returning in February.
Yeah.
Beginning of February. Give us a chance to watch something other than horror and sci-fi.
Watch something else.
Something that we don't have to sit down and write copious notes about.
Don't have to pause every 5 minutes to go, oh, yeah. I actually have found myself doing that in films. Me and Amy sat and watched a film the other week, and I went to pause it. What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I thought I had to write notes. And she just looked at me. She went, "Babe, it's midnight. Why would you be doing it?" I was like, "Yeah, true."
Yes. So, thank you for being here, doing this, and all that kind of stuff.
It's okay.
And
What's to do?
and stuff and things and stuff.
Yes.
And stuff. So yes, and we will be back again with more reviewing of things and talking about stuff and films and Balderdash and stuff like that. And next week. Okay. So we are the Sci-Fi Film for
Before we sign off, or before you sign off, we leave. I would like to say that we have had a few people message us, not always about films, I would say, just randomly asking us stupid questions. And I think that might have something to do with the fact that we go, ask us what you want. So we have got another podcast-ish sort of thing coming soon.
Yes.
Where we do just answer your questions, because not all of them are to do with films, and we thought it might be a good idea for us to talk about something other than films.
Yes, very true.
And have a laugh and joke and be a bit more at ease. So that will be starting up probably about the same sort of time as next year's one. So we'll be doing that, and hopefully it'll just, well, it won't just be hours of us just talking nonsense and rambling on, because we do that enough in our lives as it is.
I don't think it'll be much different.
No, it won't. It would be just the fact that you can edit bits out of it.
Marginally less structured, because we won't have films to talk about. But so yes, so if anybody out there has a question they want to ask us about anything at all, it could be about films, could be about music, could be about
absolutely anything.
Absolutely anything.
Obviously, I will say that if there's questions that we can't answer because we're doing them on YouTube or via podcast, then probably don't ask them questions.
Yeah, I mean, we
word it in a way that we can actually talk about it and answer.
we do have to keep ourselves to some kind of moral and legal codes.
Yeah, we'd like to be able to do it so we don't get videos taken down and get people knocking on the doors going, Did you know that you said that?
Yes.
So if you have any questions, I mean absolutely anything, please send us a message. Write to us. Email us, message us.
Yeah, put something in the comments. come and see it. Find us on wherever we are.
Facebook. Our production team is also on Instagram as well.
Yes, our production team are on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
Yes, so
they're not on Facebook, are they? No, they're not on Facebook.
No, they're not. They're only on Instagram and YouTube.
On Instagram and YouTube. I don't know.
But yes, so there are multiple ways of getting hold of us, either via the Sci-Fi Film podcast Facebook page or for our own personal ones. Email us, comments, whatever. Leave us a message and see what we talk about when we're not talking about films.
Absolutely. So listen to the basically the bit at the end of their podcasts when we just talk rubbish.
Yeah.
Imagine that with a little bit of the structure of having a question at the beginning of it. And that's basically what it would be. Yeah,
it would be you asking us a question, mainly, and us giving you an answer possibly about the topic.
And probably wandering off the topic quite
wandering off of it very quickly to then go off on a ramble.
So yes, definitely. I'd forgotten about that. It's good job you know. It's good job you know what we're doing.
To be honest, the only reason I remembered is because someone sent me a message and went, "Did you know?" I went, "Oh, that's a good question."
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you for that, Scott, and thank you to everybody out there who's listening, tuning in, watching, whatever. So thanks, Nate, and what's your mate called?
Bob.
Nate and Bob. Thank you for that, and we'll be in touch. Yes, no, actually, I've got to say this. Actually, I've already talked to Nate, and I've also talked to a friend of ours who's been on the show before, Charlie Perez, who has a new film which he wants us to review. And next season, in February, we will be interviewing both of them.
Ooh.
So we will be interviewing.
What, at the same time?
No, not at the same time.
That'd be weird.
No, we'll be interviewing Nate Thompson and Charlie Perez about their individual films at different times following the beginning of February when we restart.
Yes.
I don't know if that made any sense. But anyway, right.
It did to me, but I don't know if anyone else listening will understand.
I don't know if anybody else is listening, so it doesn't really matter.
I find an easier way of doing it is once we get onto these ramble bits, I get Amy to listen to them when you put them up. And I go, does that make sense to you? Because if she says no, then I go, well, no one else is going to get it.
Okay, fair enough. We will be doing interviews with those people and possibly other people. I'm going to try and see if I can get interviews with those people. Deformed Lunchbox, is it?
Oh, Deformed Lunchbox, yes.
Lunchbox and Burnt Mill Road.
Burnt Mill Road? That's a place in Basildon.
No, isn't that what they call Burnt Mill? Something like that. Oh, and Aaron Fredkin.
Burnt Mill Road.
They did.
No, Social House Films.
Social House Films with Aaron Fredkin. No, but there's another one. Isn't Burnt Mill Road the one that did the room upstairs and? No.
Oh yeah, sorry, Burnt Mill Road. Yes.
Yeah.
Did Raggedy Man? Did Raggedy Man? Did upstairs? Yes.
I might also see if I can get an interview with Mr. Ridder.
Oh.
We've done a few of his films, so anyway, we'll see what happens with all that. That's for next year and all that kind of thing. We don't want to raise people's expectations too much.
I don't want to alert too many people so they can say no to us before we actually ask them.
Right. Anyway, that's all for this week. We will be back next week with Santa Claus Chronicles the Martians and Mother Krampus. Until then, thank you very much. We'll see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
The Sci-Fi Film podcast.